What's going on, guys? Kiger here. We're doing Shadow Owl PvP and PvE cheat sheets. They have been updated with the collaboration units in the last few seasonal fairies. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? So as a reminder, these cheat sheets are supposed to be for the newer players getting into the game, as well as people who want to, say, try out a new class. These are going to be the starting off points. As far as mostly the skills, subclasses, stats, pets, most of this is going to be the same over time. The things that generally change over time are the fairies, maybe the treasures if new ones are added, will cores and generations if new builds pop up. But going straight into it, we have the fairies. The only one that really changed here is Ainz. Ainz is pretty busted. We have Almond Blossom here that does give you that dodge stat for a couple of hits coming in your way. We have Tranquil Balloon Flower for some cooldown reduction, and we have Camellia SP for the tornado, really mess people up and make hitting fallen down from Ainz a lot easier, even though it has pretty good tracking. Crystals block tenacity crit. The reason why we're going a little bit into crit, even though we are wind, Ainz gives us crit when we swap, so that's fine, as well as our hand signs from Night Owl Protection will give us some crit. So even though we are not heavy into crit, as far as fairies you would imagine, we are building towards crit, and we get enough from Ainz and from our hand signs to supplement the crit that we're missing out on something like fire, for example. Treasures, this is going to be primarily for the single target stuff, generally for if you're fighting one person, and based on cooldowns, Phoenix Hourglass, which makes your cooldowns matter initial instead of final, so that Wind Echo doesn't mess up your cooldowns for things like Pocket Watch. Slaughter, Rigidity, Break Free. Like I said, we are doing a crit build here, so Break Free is a great way to go. Slaughter, allowing you to kill them faster once they're under a certain amount of HP, and Rigidity, giving you that a little bit of tankiness to live long enough, especially as we're going in a lot with something like Raikiri. We're going in. Our skills, we're always using Ninja Tool, does damage, also gives us the mobility. If we're too close, it makes us dodge back, as well as if someone has a you cannot move effect on us, then it allows us to get out of that. Not to mention, if you do a Night Owl Protection Ninja Tool, it throws down, it feels like you're playing Sasuke from Season 1 of Naruto. Throw it down, big column of fire. But generally, I go for Raikiri. Raikiri is your main, like, killing spell. And the boosted effect, generally you have to go forward with it, just like Naruto. But with Night Owl Protection, you don't have to follow it, so you can do like a ranged Raikiri. And in a pinch and things like Uncharted Battlefield, Crystal Battlefield, things like that, both of these can be used just for mobility to get around the map a bit better. Night Owl Protection, shield knock-up immunity, which also stops things like the new Chateau knockback. Then we have, this is the main choice here. The one that people are generally going with is Shuriken Swift Wind. It looks pretty cool throwing the shurikens from range, but it's generally not that great of a skill. I like to go more so with aerial ace, which lets you dive in and then you do the dash around, which is a knock up in PvP, but also counts as an extra skill cast for your Shadow Clone Chi ability, which is very powerful. The only thing is, you can't use Shadow Clone with Aerial Ace. Shadow Clone has to be with a Shadow Owl ability. Best subclasses, one that really allowed this class to shine. Priest is always going to do that. Dragon Fighter is going to go well with most things. It has Dragon Roar, it has stuns, it has Pierce Rate, things like this. Wind Chaser is the interesting one here. It gives you more CC, it gives you more get out jail free cards, things like this. Most wanted stats: damage to adventure increase, damage increase, and crit. But a lot of people forget just building crit isn't really the whole thing with crit. It also, crit damage should be part of the build if you're building crit at all. Synergy pets. Let's start with Spirit Cat. Spirit Cat is a get out jail free card. In general, just Spirit Cat isn't going to generally be enough. You really need the red cards to make it work, because it's going to give you that get out jail free card plus a couple seconds of immunity to CC, as well as the shield and whatnot. Capybara is also a great option, especially if you pick Dragon Fighter or Wind Chaser as your subclass, because they will give you either Dragon Roar or Strength of Nature, so you have a makeshift cat ability, but you also have Capybara for the stun. The red book gives it more range, as well as you take reduced damage. Capybara is pretty good, especially in 1v1 situations. Shadow Owl PvE, this had the biggest overhaul. The fairies here, you have Winter Cherry for giving them fire weakness. You have bonus damage to fire weakness plus class damage increase. Just for damage increase, Chestnut Rose would be better, but you also get the HP steal rate bonus. She gives you 10%, even though this class doesn't have any at all. The 10% chance to do 20% bonus damage is still pretty decent. And that primarily goes with these two right here, giving you an attack increase as well as just dealing damage to the boss. Attack, crit, break, all stats that are good in PvE. You don't need defensive stats. We ignore the gold and purple treasures because they don't generally work in PvE. These work. Mantra, Fierce Attack, and Break Free, because we're going a crit build, so Break Free. Mantra, Fierce Attack are generally the ones you go for PvE. The skills are full right side. You want to primarily stack the damage increase, and crit are the general ones that we're going for here for PvE. Subclass to allow you to do your thing in PvE. Priest, Dragon Fighter, or Mechanician. Mechanician is the new one. The thing is, Shadow Owl is a class that wants you to stay in Shadow Owl as much as possible. Mechanician is a set it and forget it class. Priest, pretty similarly, set it and forget it. You do your buffs, you throw your skills, and then you swap to Shadow Owl for a while so you can get your stacks up and do your Night Owl protection, do your big burst, and then you can reset up your Priest or Mechanician and then go back into Shadow Owl. Most wanted stats: boss damage increase, crit damage. Synergy pets, Pearl Otter is best in slot because it gets stacks of its bonus effect, and if you're not at level 4, so you can get Pearl Otter, Little Flame Dragon is next in slot.